Hello everyone and welcome to Drawing with Paolo, DWP. Today we'll be drawing Astérix. He'll have this motion of a movement towards the top like this, throwing a punch and punching his enemy into the sky. And we'll start with his head over here, and we'll draw his body curve down this way. In a lot of cases it's easier to draw a character when we have his body position in place already. We'll start with his schnoz up here, so this will be kind of his skull. And we'll have his nose coming from the tip of his skull over here, going down, curving like this. And this character is part 2 of the character we drew last time, which was Obélix. This Astérix is his colleague and friend, and they are both from the fabled cartoon or comic book Astérix and Obélix, very popular in Europe for our European fans out there. So there we go, we've got our helmet like this, and we've got the hair coming out of the front, little wisps of hair, and we'll go with his cheek and his ear. It's a little letter T, curved letter T like this. Quite simple way to make ear details. We'll put his wings. Now Astérix has wings on his head, and we'll draw the feathers going like this. Feathers are kind of like little letter C's that are all combined together to create a wing, and we'll add more little letter C's inside here, just like that. And then we'll add the other wing on the other side behind over here, just like this. And we see a little bit less of that because of foreshortening. We don't see as many feathers, so we'll make those a little bit shorter. And he has hair coming out of the back of his helmet like this, and he has a big mustache, big blonde mustache, so we'll put one mustache here and the other one a little bit shorter on the other side, going to the other side this way. And he's smiling, of course, so his eyes are closed, and little slit for his eye here, and he has little reflections on his helmet, kind of like this. And then, of course, we can redefine his lines, hairlines, and we'll erase whatever's in there. We don't need those foundation lines anymore. Okay, a little nostril, and then he's smiling. He's punching a Roman guard up into space. So essentially we'll give him a nice big smile. So the teeth lines, little dividing lines between the teeth. And we'll put his arm going this way. So he's got one arm flailing outwards. Here's his belly attached to his arm. And this arm is going all the way back over here. And we have his t-shirt line, his back, belly once again. And he has a belt, and this is the opening of his t-shirt at the bottom. It's kind of like a wizard hat, if you look at it that way, if you understand what I mean. We'll have his fist, thumb, knuckles up here. His other knuckles over here like that. There we go. So he's got a closed fist for this right arm. And his left arm will be above his head. That's where, his punch flies up. That's how he sends his enemies up into space, by punching them. And he's strong like this because he drinks a magic potion. And unlike his colleague Obélix does not need to drink magic potion to be strong. But Astérix here requires magic potion to be strong and to be super fast and have all the fantastic powers that they get in their cartoon or comic book. Here's the hilt to his sword, which we will redefine here. Just a few rectangles combined together, and this will be a scabbard. But his scabbard here has a little tip at the end. Looks like a triangle, a little bit of a curved triangle like that. And then he's got a leather X mark wrapped around the scabbard, which allows the scabbard to be attached to his belt. We can erase those foundation lines in there, and we'll have to retrace, but that's fine. That's part of drawing, you know. You need to erase lines and redraw lines. That's cool. Not a problem. There we go. Okay, and then a circle over here. A little detail, a little design. I don't think it serves for any purpose. We can add a bit of shading over here on the sword. We'll put that back hand over here, his left hand, which is also a closed fist, his thumb, his tiny fingers, his little nail, so small finger here. And then we'll add his palm and wrist. There we go, add a few more details. And then we'll add more detail to the wisps of those hairs. And then we'll have to put where his t-shirt armholes are and color his t-shirt in nice and black. Once again, a super simple drawing. This time around, I feel like making simple drawings or drawings that seem quick. Allow me to make more videos and allow you guys to be able to get more videos from me. You may have seen at the beginning of the video, you can, if you enjoy my videos, encourage me by donating small amounts of money, $5, whatever you like, to my PayPal account. That'd be awesome. If you don't, that's cool, I'll keep doing my stuff on my own. But if I do get encouragement, hey, who knows? Maybe one day I can be making daily videos. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? All right, so this is his back leg. Usually we need to make sure that the legs and arms are opposite, right? So when you're walking, your right leg will be forward, your left leg will be back. So if your right leg is forward, then your right arm is back to ensure balance. And so you can see here his left leg is forward, as his right arm is back. And that's how it should be along balancing. When you're drawing characters walking, running, or punching, whatever else, you always mirror the opposite arm or leg. All right, so this is the bottom of his t-shirt. And we have to erase the portion of his belt in the front there that we need to redefine with nice little circles. All right. And then in a few seconds here, we'll decide to draw his little container in which he pours his magic potion that he drinks up and becomes super powerful with it. And once again, he's got leather straps going in an X pattern around it, like that. And then we'll erase these lines here at the bottom that we don't need. And he also has a stitch going across that little leather bag. It's a leather bag, essentially, that creates this pouch in which he holds his magic potion. And here we'll create this line like this, which is the stitch line. And we'll add little lines across like that to make it look like a stitched up bag. All right, redefine certain of the lines, the contour lines here. And to draw these characters, to draw any character, look them up online, go onto a website, search the names of these characters, and then practice drawing them. That's the only way you can get good at this. There's no other way around it. You need hours and hours of practice. You need to sit there and work at it. There's no other way. Everybody's looking for, be it in exercise, be it in sport, be it in school. You can't cheat. There's no way to just download data into your brain. You need to practice. And as you practice, your brain develops additional connections, additional neurons, and then, hey, you get good at drawing. So practice daily if you can, using any tools you have around the house, any kind of paper, any kind of pen, pencil, marker, doesn't really matter. The tool does not make the artist. The artist makes himself or herself, right? So you need to practice this daily. Okay, so I'm just retracing lines here, redefining these lines that we created earlier as foundation lines. So you draw really lightly at first, and you guys already know this if you've been following me for some time. You draw really light lines to begin with, and then you can trace on top of them with a much darker line to set those lines in place. You want to start with light lines so that it's easier to erase them later on, right? If you were to press really hard to begin with, then those lines are very difficult to get rid of, and then it makes for a dirty drawing. All right, so we're going to draw here a few more details to his pants. and redefine those contour lines. When I'm doing contours, I like to imagine myself having a marker and doing lines as neatly as possible. As I draw this right foot here. And there's his right foot. And then he's got a little loop there. It's like a pull-on shoe. And we're going to color that in. And he has also his left foot here, which isn't very far from the right one, so we'll keep them more or less the same size. I think could have made it a little bit smaller, you know, it's the same loop here as on this side. I'll color those in. And then color in his pants a lighter shade, a slightly lighter shade than his shoes. Yeah, maybe the same color, I guess, at this point, eh? Alright. Color in his arm back here because it's back behind his head, so we want to push it back there. And there we go. I think the next thing we can do is create that little punch cartoon motion, you know, that punch explosion and the word pow. So he's punching someone. We'd like to see that effect happen. So we're going to add these little motion lines here to finish off our character. And we'll have to draw that swing motion of his back arm there. So a big letter C like that. And maybe another one, maybe a last one at the top here, like that. And then a few motion lines this way. Look at that. So now we can see he's punching. We get that motion in there. And then we'll draw the letter P-O-W for a big pow in the drawing. Well, you can write, you know, whatever you want. Path, punch, pop. It's up to you. You're drawing. You invent what you want to do there. And then here we go. So there's my pow. I'm going to retrace those lines, make them a bit darker. I'm kind of happy with that. And if you'd like to share your drawings, if you have an Instagram account, you can go ahead and put your drawing on Instagram and link me at Drawing with Paolo so I can see those drawings and I can give you a little like on the drawing. That'd be pretty cool. Scan it, take a photo of it, put it on Instagram. And if you'd like to follow me on Instagram, I'm Drawing with Paolo on Instagram. Be a pleasure to have you along, following me. And I share all kinds of things on Instagram. It's not only my drawings, but all kinds of daily stuff. So now with this POW, we're going to draw stars all around the POW. The stars represent what his enemy is now seeing after being punched by Astérix. I recommend these comic books. They're pretty cool. They're fun. And there are now computer-generated movies and live-action movies that are available pretty much everywhere, so you can check those out too. It's part of culture. You know, you learn new characters, you learn about them, you watch about them. It's pretty neat. All right, so we're going to draw this like explosion around the POW. You know, it's a regular comic book explosion. And the background here, the floor, and the last thing to do is my signature. And hey, I really hope you enjoyed this drawing, and we'll see you next time on another episode of DWP, Drawing with Paolo. See you soon!